Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 118, Laws Are Optional. Why do I say that? Because they are. Laws that are not enforced are not laws, and we don't enforce anything. So today, obviously big news day. We have a leak of a Supreme Court decision, of a draft of a Supreme Court decision. So that this will take up the whole episode, I'm sure. But what I want to do is review Roe versus Wade, review the opinion leak, responding to reactions of the opinion and the leak, and then talk about consolidation of law and behavior. But again, here in America, there are literally no laws at all. I can't pay $1 million or stop getting tortured with a direct legal argument posted online in Part 118. And a lot of other of the videos I had that aren't even part of the series are about the same thing, like the RICO video. Once again, I did not have this pulled up beforehand, at least the Roe versus Wade. I got the opinion, the other stuff pulled up. So we'll just read off of Wikipedia. So what exactly does it establish? Roe versus Wade was a landmark decision of the United States Supreme Court. It ruled the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. The decision struck down many U.S. federal and state abortion laws. Roe fueled an ongoing abortion debate in the United States about whether or to what extent abortion should be legal, who should decide the legality of abortion, and what the role of moral and religious views in the political sphere should be. It also shaped debate concerning which methods the Supreme Court should use in constitutional education. That's really all I'm going to use there. But the first thing I want to say is, again, throughout this opinion and throughout, again, any meritocracy, any society where they actually respect their own laws or respect merit, you guys go into a building that says, "In God we trust." You literally put up your hand and say, "So help me God," at the end of your oaths. 0% religious. As a point of historical fucking fact. The reason people say, "God bless you," "I believe in God," "in God we trust," because he was the first historical judge proven by history. That's why you say, "God bless you," when you sneeze. It's because, that's why you say, "Only God can judge me," for real. It's because of a profound intellect outside of the known intellect of the species, and so they listen to his rulings, his judgments. So without question, the first historical fact we need to establish is God was a judge. And so, past that, and I will never be a scientist of my own. I'm simply offering $1 million to maybe have my writings and discoveries, which are actually protected by the United States Constitution, publicly disclosed, and payment for my work to be done. Past that, the implications, I really just don't give a fuck. I've been tortured my entire life. But the actual biology, the biological, it's a very simple ruling, right? Last fucking video, I'm responding and logically filling all of the underdeveloped arguments in this entire species for real. That is actually what is going on here. And so, the entire argument is, first of all, like what stage of trimester, but what is life? It's biological processing. A fetus is not independent, sentient life. It is dependent on the biological processing of the mother. Therefore, the rights of the mother supersede the child at all times. And so, we'll get into a little bit. That's really the entire thing. But again, people will just, the right. Again, the laws count only if you're in pathetic society. Only if you're in the beta male society where, again, I can't pay $1 million to stop getting literally fucking tortured, as everybody actually provably distributes my information for real without just compensation. So it's just, again, somehow we live in pathetic society. Oh, the leak happened. Oh, the news outlets are protected by the First Amendment. You guys are protected by the pathetic behavior of all the beta males and females around you. There are no rules. Laws are fucking optional. And so the potential for life, again, right? Oh, what about the heartbeat bill? Or after 15 weeks, this decision also upheld the Mississippi 15-week ban on abortion. Again, my position on abortion, the whole thing is, again, the biological, common law. We're going to refer to common law a lot in this theft of an opinion. But common law, when I'm talking about God, in God we trust, they're citing common law as like the 16th century. Common law was again, historically proven by, God bless you, only God can judge me. He was being the first judge probably 30 to 50,000 fucking years ago. So when I say the great Justice Alito citing common law from 1600 nobodies, again, merit. You say, who is Jesus Christ? Who is God? Because they lived their life in a way where nobody else could fucking forget. And so when you're citing some dick sucker from the 16th century, it's like insanity. I'll talk more about that, about consolidation of law and behavior. Because time is short, human behavior doesn't change that bad. It's who has maturity, who demonstrates merit, who fucking unifies the natural sciences in like an hour. Again, so the whole species isn't saying that's happening, so it definitely hasn't happened already, like 6 fucking years ago. But the actual Roe versus Wade, there was a couple other things I might have wanted to talk about there. But obviously it's basically saying the woman's right to privacy with her doctor is restricted from undue burden from intervention from the federal government. It was issued in January 1973 with a 7-2 decision, ruling that the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States provides a right to privacy that protects a pregnant woman's right to choose whether to have an abortion. And the biological law is the mother is the independent sentience. So therefore the child could not live independently. Again, on abortion, like I've said multiple times, I wouldn't even necessarily like put it into statute, but if you can't make a decision, especially on sex, you go, which again, are we sure sexual intercourse is real? I am still not personally convinced that's a real thing. But it's assuming that's real out there in the world, right? When you piss on the little stick and it says pregnant or not pregnant, did your heart sink or did you jump up for joy? So it's not much of a decision. So 15 weeks is even a long time, but I wouldn't write statute against it. It's just, again, maturity, knowing how to behave, being practical, being a grown-ass fucking human being, which is impossible because nobody grows up. So, again, I'm going to be 29 this year. Abort me. Abort me. Like, actually, I fucking hate this. This isn't life. I don't get to participate. I don't get to have a career. I don't get to have a family. I get disrespected for interacting, just existing on my fucking porch. For real. So, again, it's the desire for life. You know, we got to protect the unborn babies. But yeah, well, it's got a heartbeat now. Guess who else has a heartbeat? That person that's a vegetable that can't fucking speak and is going to die anyway. So it's the same decision there. Oh, well, a heartbeat's always alive. No. People in heartbeats that are vegetables that live on life support, they have a heartbeat. It's mechanically being provided for by something else. Oh, like a mother. Oh, it's the same decision. It is literally the same logic. Literally. Nobody cares. But, again, at this point, again, I just want the fuck out of America. This is a third world country for real. And again, lying about actual historical evidence, actual historical data is fraud, is racketeering, and you're a part of a conspiracy. So every single law enforcement, you guys are going to jail. A lot of you are going to fucking jail for a very long time, if not your entire life. And every single academic and major business person as well. Anything else from the actual Roe versus Wade thing? Not really. Let's talk about the actual, let's just read through some of the draft parts. So it says, just going right off the opening, Justice Alito delivered the opinion of the court. Abortion presents a profound moral issue on which Americans hold sharply convicting views. There's no conflicting views with scientific proof. Some believe fervently that a human person comes into being at conception, that abortion ends an innocent life. That's an interesting differentiation. Human comes into being. Human being. It's an adjective. Been covering that outside pretty in depth. Others feel just as strongly that any regulation of abortion invades a woman's right to control her own body and prevents women from achieving full equality. Still others in a third group think that abortion should be allowed under some, but not all circumstances, and those within this group hold a variety of views about particular restrictions that should be imposed. And again, I've seen, again, my political views, again, reviewing them is, please release my property so I can get the fuck away from screaming children that somehow have authority over my life, even though they don't. But the right is fucking clueless fucking idiots that, you know, they're fiscally conservative, they like the army, they like to bear arms, they like, freedom, even though they instinctually won't support actual freedom in any meaningful way. The left is a bunch of woke cunts that can't stop screaming and bitching about just whatever social justice thing gets them excited about whatever. And I'm just like, we should do practical shit. And I was like that for a solid 20 years. Now I'm just like, burn the whole place down. Like actual long-term behavior, the way human beings benefit the most is, again, people actually growing up, but they can't do that, so die off. Like actually just die. It will genuinely help the long-term, your progeny will thank you for real. But talking in here about like some I'm assuming like rapes. But yeah, again, there was a comment recently, being raped, carrying the baby of a rapist is, an opportunity or some shit, and just completely out of touch people. Because again, they're underdeveloped. Their idea of biology is life matters. Life is a biological process. A dependent biological process on an independent biological process does not have the same rights. It doesn't. And so, we're continuing on. For the first 185 years after the adoption of the Constitution, each state was permitted to address this issue in accordance with the views of its citizens. Then, in 1973, this court decided Roe versus Wade, 410 U.S. 113, even though the Constitution makes no mention of abortion. Again, it is not constitutional, it is from common law. Biological common law, going on 50,000 fucking years. You people are piss-ons that once you fucking die, no one will remember goddamn dickheads you have ever done in life. Anything. Nothing. They will remember how you treated one another and how you treated me. That is a fucking fact. And I'm writing down history and fraud every single day. So, do your thing, people. Too stupid to behave. Even though the court held that it confers a broad right to obtain one, it did not claim that American law or the common law had ever recognized such a right, and its survey of history ranged from the constitutionally irrelevant, for example, e.g., its discussion of abortion in antiquity, to the plainly incorrect, e.g., its assertion that abortion was probably never a crime under the common law. Correct. You guys are referring to 2,000 years of law. I'm referring to 50,000. Now fuck all of that. I'm referring to merit and proof. I don't opine. I prove shit. You people steal shit and lie. After cataloging a wealth of its assertion plainly incorrect, and they don't even know what the fuck common law is referring to. This is the Supreme Court of the United States. This is a dick sucker, fucking loser, who again probably went to Harvard. He played sports his whole life. His whole life has been handed to him on a silver platter, and now he has to use words to form an argument. And you're stealing from me. Well, not every single time. It is what it is. That is the form of every sentence that will come out of anybody's mouth from antiquity to infinity. From beginning to fucking end. After cataloging a wealth of other information having no bearing on the meaning of the Constitution, the opinion concluded with a numbered set of rules much like those that might be found in a statute enacted by a legislature. Under this scheme, each trimester of pregnancy was regulated differently, but the most critical line was drawn at roughly the end of the second trimester, which at the time corresponded to the point at which the fetus was thought to be achieved viability. And see, that is in accordance with common law, biological law. Right? Trimesters are different. Different feasibility, different viability. And again, just late-stage abortions, you should make a decision. I would not statute against it. I.e., that is, the ability to survive outside the womb. Although the court acknowledged that states had a legitimate interest in protecting potential life, it found that this interest could not justify any restriction on pre-viability abortions. The court did not explain the basis for this line, and even abortion supporters have found it hard to defend Roe's reasoning. No. How could anyone that understands biology disagree with trimesters have different potential for the life to sustain itself? Well, that's right, a society that's instinctually denies scientific proof. This one. One problem. So just unfounded claims. Not even the supporters have found it to defend Roe's reasoning. Nobody's competent. Right? You go into a court and you can object for competence. I object to every other human being competent at anything. Literally anything. Actually. Like, not haha funny. Not, this is accident, unintended funny, like Jordan Peterson says, like, go fuck yourself, here's the law, eat it. Because remember, those Republicans, we're all about the law and order here. Yeah, okay. One prominent constitutional scholar wrote, that he would vote for a statute very much like the one the court ended up drafting if he were a legislator. But his assessment of Roe was memorable and brutal. Roe was not constitutional at all and gave almost no sense of an obligation to try to be. Biological law, common law, statute has been proven in 1,000 different ways. We have statute law overriding common law and a bunch of idiots that are incompetent and don't know what the fuck to do and they don't care. As long as they can feel they can be elected to the Supreme Court, they can offload their work to some law clerk, and then they can sit again screeching bald eagles in the fucking background. And oh yeah, 4 million Americans are gonna die this year because you guys didn't legalize cannabis. Because freedom, so much law, so much order, so much competence, so much understanding, so much decency. Oh nope, a bunch of horny animals that learn to play games all day, and now all they would try to do is come and pay their bills, and they can't. At the time of Roe, 30 states still prohibited abortion at all stages. Again, that's criminal. In the years prior to that decision, about a third of the states had liberalized their laws, but Roe abruptly ended that political process. It imposed the same highly restrictive regime on the entire nation, and effectively struck down the abortion laws of every single state. As Justin Byron White aptly put it in his dissent, the decision represented the exercise of raw judicial power. It's kind of the point of the judiciary branch. Separation of power, guys. It's kind of a weird statement there. 410 U.S. at some citation, and it sparked a national controversy that has embittered our political culture for half a century. Planned Parenthood, not familiar with the Casey. Thanks, I'm not even going to read into that at all. Their opinion reason hinted more authors. I'm just going to jump around now. It's a long document, it's 98 pages, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. I read a good amount of it this morning. Paradoxically, the judgment of Casey did a fair amount of overruling. Not going to read the Casey ones at all. Oh, but we did have overruled in toto in italicized. There's our big Harvard degrees, so now we say toto. Nice. You can say in all. That would work too. And Roe itself was overruled in part. Casey threw that out. I'm trying to pass the Casey stuff. Before us now, here's the Mississippi part. The state of Mississippi asks us to uphold the constitutionality of a law that generally prohibits an abortion of the 15th week of pregnancy. Strictly going on law, I would not uphold that, because again, there's practically, I agree with the trimesters, practically I agree with make a fucking decision, but I would not, again, because of the mother is the biological independent sentience, their rights have way more fucking bearing than a fucking ball of cells by a lot, or a dependent fetus that don't fucking care at all. After the 15th week, several weeks, a point which the fetus is now regarded as viable. We covered that. Another highlighted section, we hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. The Constitution makes no reference to abortion, and no such right is implicitly protected by anti-constitutional provision. Article 1, Section 8, Subsection 7 assures me my right to my writings and discoveries. Failure to do so in a racket and a conspiracy with profound ongoing fraud has restricted my expertise, my ruling, my proof. So you guys can get fucked. You can get fucked 10 ways to fucking Sunday. And including the one which the defenders of Roe and Casey now chiefly rely, the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. That provision has been held to guarantee some rights that are not mentioned in the Constitution, but any such right must be deeply rooted in this nation's history and tradition. Those are in quotes, and, quote, implicit in the concept of ordered liberty. Washington versus Glucksburg, Fit 521, U.S. 2702, 1997. And so it goes on, the right to abortion does not fall within this category. Until the latter part of the 20th century, such a right was entirely unknown in American law. Because history moves forward. Right? Everyone says, oh, the world's going to shit. No, the world's getting better, and it depends on how fast. The more stupid shit we do, the slower it's going to go. Again, we'll talk about the consolidation of law and behavior. Let me make sure I'm still rolling. So again, now I'm just going to jump around just again to respond just to legal points. Another highlighted section in the, I guess somebody else found this as like the most meaty part of the paper. Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. Egregiously. Huh. Who else has written a letter to Ronald Trump saying the word egregious in proper context, and now I can't turn on the fucking TV without people saying egregiously? Oh, that's right, that's word for word theft. It is what it is. From the start, its reasoning was exceptionally weak, and the decision has had damaging consequences. Name them. Like what? Like not having, the Republicans, they love LA, they love New York, they love all of those kids once they grow up, they love their veterans once they come back from war. Oh, that's right, they're just idealized, they're just idyllic. This is how the world should be. It's not how the world is. It just isn't. Come back to the real world. Come back with us, Ben Shapiro. Come back. Stop visiting Joe in the transition process. Come back to Earth, Ben. Egregiously is word for word stolen from me, provably time-stamped on the internet. And far from bringing a national settlement of the abortion issue, Roe and Casey have inflamed debate and deepened division. It is time to heed the Constitution, return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. Again, back to Tom Cotton, fucking Gumby, no discernible facial features. Back to whoever the fuck, I don't know, a single person from Ohio that's our senator. I know Nan Whaley's running for governor. Watch out, Governor DeWine. Oh, freedoms, so much freedom. Oh, I don't think everyone should have cannabis. I'm not a scientist. Oh, here comes Nan Whaley. Here we go. Whoa. God. Yeah, it is time to heed the Constitution, like the Article 1, Section 8, Subsection 7, and the Fifth Amendment. You can't take private property without just compensation for public use. That is what you do every day. And you steal my research word for word. The permissibility of abortion and the limitation upon it are to be resolved, like most important questions under democracy, by citizens trying to persuade one another, then voting. Again, holy fuck, our citizenship is retards. Fat fucking retards with no ability to change. None. Zero. They also say that in here too. But again, people they literally steal my contextual argumentation. My literally being fat at different points using certain words, and it just transmits through the population, provably, and then they just don't care. But that is what the Constitution and the rule of law demand. Yeah, there's no laws are optional. I'm just gonna jump around again. Again, big report. Regranted certiorari to resolve the question whether all pre-viability prohibitions on elective abortions are unconstitutional. We begin by considering the critical question whether the Constitution, properly understood, confers a right to obtain an abortion. Yeah, that section where it says the fucking rights not distinctly given to the fucking federal government or retained by the citizens. They went right back to biological dependency, and the mother wins. We therefore, I don't know if I can do the Casey stuff. Roe, however, was remarkably loose in his treatment of the constitutional text. Like Alita's wife, got him. It held that abortion right, which is not mentioned in the Constitution, is part of a right to privacy, which is also not mentioned. Well, that's correct. Right to privacy isn't mentioned, which, how about you Republicans? Express VPN, you have a right to privacy, says Ben Shapiro. Fraudulently marketing products. There are no laws. Laws are optional. The court's discussion left open at least 3 ways in which some combination of these provisions could protect the abortion right. One possibility was the right was founded in the Ninth Amendment's reservations to the right of the people. That's what I was just referencing, I believe. They start talking about common law in here. I want to get to that part. I'm literally just jumping around now. Because it's just fucking hilarious. The Supreme Court and every law fucking school in this universe is fucking stealing from me. Literally all of them. Every academic university on this fucking planet is stealing from me, for real. And then the journalists, they have the First Amendment right to disclose information, so they're going to do that. But when I contacted them, they're going to say no. So it's amazing to see how people can unify to kill people. Snuff out all actual laws and say, doubt it. How would your people help things? Look at anything that's gone viral, and this is the most viral shit fucking ever. If people would just say, yep, this is truly the foundations of human knowledge, and it's proven. If people were just not fucking retarded, incompetent cunts, they would just be like, oh, I realize stuff. But they don't go out into the world and think. They just don't. Human being is disgusting. Just fucking disgusting. Being an American is fucking disgusting. You can't have health care. You can't have anything. You can't start a family. You can't start a career. You can't leave. You can't collect your property. You can't report crime. All of the beta males and females will just play games and kick you the fuck out. I just wanted to get to the fucking... There's the due process. It's not. It's biological law. It's common law. I want to get to the common law part. Where is it? Where are you at, common law? Oh, here was the... page 15. Until the latter part of the 20th century, there was no support in American law for constitutional right to obtain an abortion. Zero. None. Literally my emphatic responses. Literally. Well, here we go. We begin with the common law, under which abortion was a crime at least after quickening, i.e., that is, the first felt movement of the fetus in the womb, which usually occurs between the 16th and 18th week of pregnancy. The eminent common law authorities, Blackstone, Coke-Hale, and the like, from 2020, all describe abortion after quickening as criminal. Again, you guys have no merited authority, none, fucking zero. Henry de Bracton's 13th century treatise explained that if he had a person struck a pregnant woman or has given her poison whereby he has caused an abortion, if the fetus, spelled incorrectly, be already formed and animated, and particularly if it be animated, he commits homicide. Bam! Life is animated. Dependent life is not animated. It's not independent. It is not sentient. Oh, there's a sentence from 1200, word for word, doesn't matter. In God we trust. Only God can judge me. God will save us. No, he won't. He's going to respect the fucking law. But again, they're citing 13th century treaties as, again, consolidation of law and behavior. Some dude, the average dude in the 1300s was way fucking stupider. So again, looking back in history, like, wow, this great scholar from the 1300s. Fuck no. It depends on the merit and the competence of the individual. Past that, every fucking beta male, female, they're going to respond to the sentiment of the species. They're going to do what their friends are doing. They're going to talk about the TV shows their friends are talking about. And then they interject their personal insecurities and say, let's do this, let's do that, let me judge you. Here's how we do it. This court asserts, you guys don't know how to fucking behave. If you were a whore or you're 25 or 30, you could all be fucking wiped off this fucking planet. You don't know how to fucking behave. So, again, I just wanted to get to the common law stuff. And now let's respond to some, in conclusion, let's respond to some of the, I'm going to read through some of the responses of well-known people from the Washington Examiner, Live Blog, Supreme Court leak. So, now on to the actual leak. So it said there has never been a leak before of a draft of an opinion. There has been leaks of opinions that are finalized before supposed to be publicly released, but not of drafts. And the last leak that happened at all was in 1986. So, Mitch McConnell, Leader McConnell, says the leak was an escalation by the left to bully and intimidate judges. Which I don't want to go say bully and intimidate, but I definitely think it would agree with, again, the woke left to save the sentiment by sticking her neck out for, again, a Supreme Court decision, not for my actual constitutional rights, which unequivocally affects 100% of human beings that are living today and will ever live from here on out, for real. But we can't accept that because of the historical implications, so we're going to continue to deny that and kill each other, which is good. The faster this fucking species sentiment changes, the better we'll be in the long run, the more fucking people that will feed, the more people that will eat. And all of these privileged ass fucks, I couldn't even give a fuck left if they lived or died today. Senator Mitch McConnell, it's not a call to violence, it's, again, when I say die off, I mean live your fucking lives and die the fuck off. Good God. Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell blasted the leak as an attack on the independence of court and Democratic leaders, comments as disgraceful. Real leaders should defend the court's independence unconditionally, McConnell wrote in a statement. Thomas Massey, if SCOTUS were to overturn Roe versus Wade, it would return lawmaking authority back to legislatures. In fact, it seems unlikely that abortion laws would change in Massachusetts. So why are Senators Warren and Markey so apoplectic? Oh, big word for Thomas Massey today, man. Apoplectic. Did you say that 5 times in the mirror fast before you wrote that tweet, dog? But yeah, that's another big thing. I guess a lot of states have, like 20 states have laws that if Roe versus Wade ever gets overturned, they are going to, immediately have restrictions on abortions. Again, I would not restrict abortion at any fucking level. Complete restrictions against, rapes, mothers with like actual health, like if they gave birth, they have a substantial chance of dying. Which again, I didn't even look up that stat. You always have a chance of dying. It's a big blood transfer to have a baby. So that's illegal, and to do so, again, I can't enforce anything because I don't have any rights. I will never have fucking rights. I'll never have laws apply to me. Laws are optional. But again, at the end of the day, all we have is how we treat one another. Yes, correct. And if you're a scientist, a senator, a representative, a judge, a citizen, a business owner, just anybody, and your actions hurt people, that action's not going to go away. Karma's a bitch, and it's going to come right back to you. And if you're too stupid, the only thing worse than a criminal, someone's too stupid to know they're fucking committing crimes. And that is literally everybody. Protesters face off in front of the Supreme Court Tuesday morning. Cami Mondo says, pro-choice activists chanting across barriers to pro-life protesters. U.S. Capitol Police just moved the barricades to make this U-shape, although it's not clear why. Biden says leaks should help Dems in midterm elections. He says voters should elect pro-choice officials. Bernie Sanders repeats call to blow up filibuster, this time to codify Roe. Congress must pass legislation that codifies Roe v. Wade as the law of the land in this country now. And if there aren't 60 votes in the Senate to do it, and there are not, we must end the filibuster and pass it with 50 votes. What do I think about filibuster? A prolonged speech to obstruct. I think it's now dated fucking legal whoops bullshit. Again, there's your 1700s. There are great founding fathers who couldn't tie their shoes and take a shit without putting it into their mouth. Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson. If I have to read one more thing from Alexander Hamilton, please end me. Strike me down where I stand. Jonathan Peters writes, it's remarkable, the leak of what appears to be an initial draft majority opinion. SCOTUS generally has kept it secret and has kept confidential its internal processes and deliberations. But the court does occasionally leak and has leaked before about Roe v. Wade. Never a draft. Well, it says this one says, it says, it seems everyone has something to say about Supreme Court leak. Here are some things to consider, Con Carroll writes. We really have no idea how the final draft. No, because I researched multiple things and it said that a draft has never been leaked, but there's been leaks of final decisions. So I think that's the same. Yeah, I think on Washington Examiner it says 3 quick thoughts about the Dobbs draft leak. I don't think it was a draft. Mitt Romney praises result but decries process. Senator Mitt Romney. If the leaked draft opinion reflects the final outcome, it is a decision I support. Yep, support those people when they're fucking looting in Los Angeles and New York, and they're putting a gun in your face and they don't have to have any legal consequences whatsoever. It's these same people, the same ones. The sanctity of human life is a foundational American principle. The sanctity of life is a foundational American principle. Yep, sanctity of human life is not discussed in the United States Constitution. Laws are, and I'm not a strict constitutionalist, I'm a strict practicalist. Do shit that fucking makes sense. If it is inconsistent with biological proof, get fucked. Laws regarding abortion would now be returned to the people, their elected representatives. Completely idyllic. Yep, our great elected officials, they're not competent. Left, right, in between, all over the fucking place. So yep, again, our elected representatives, I still can't get health care for shit that, for problems caused by not enforcing the law, not respecting my rights, and so fuck Brett. The breach of the court's deliberative process, however, is an appalling affront against a critical institution and should be fully investigated, and those responsible should be punished. Yes, we should punish all crime, not just crimes A through B, or A through D, or A through F, but A through Z, all of them. All of them. We should make laws that make fucking sense, and then enforce them. We should do that. Can't, everyone's incompetent, everyone's just trying to come and get to their next paycheck. Calls Roe for the FBI to investigate the leak. Laura Ingraham, have you figured out the show is called You on Netflix yet, Laura? You entitled cunt. No matter what you think about this outcome, the leak itself represents a shocking, unprecedented break of the court's confidentiality. Oh, the world's high court. In God we trust. Here's my long black robe. But yeah, again, the FBI, good luck with those motherfuckers. Good luck with those fucking incompetent retards. Good luck with that shit. Again, senior law enforcement agents, you guys have facilitated war, treason, war, insurrection, war, insurrection, pandemic, war. You're going to face full consequences for that. Democrats call for court packing, warn gay marriages next. Ilhan Omar, I've heard her name a lot on Ben Shapiro's YouTubes. Overturning Roe would put the lives of women across the country at risk. It would fly in the face of decades of precedent, the overwhelming majority of public opinion. And they will not stop here. Expand the court. Meaning add more justices to the Supreme Court. As we've covered, the United States Constitution doesn't give an exact number of how many United States federal Supreme Court justices there should be. And that's quote tweeting Mark Joseph Stern. Alito's draft opinion explicitly criticized Lawrence Taylor versus Texas, legalizing sodomy, and Obergefell versus Hodges, legalizing same-sex marriages. He says that, like abortion, these decisions protect phony rights and are deeply rooted in history. I love that. Deeply rooted in history. The history you guys are fucking covering up. So again, you're citing history that is incorrect, that's proven incorrect. This is not me opining, this is a fucking proof. You guys steal that, you're so stupid you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Forgive them, they don't know what they do. Nah, fuck them. An eye for an eye makes the whole world fucking blind, and who cares? This isn't life. This is not progress. This is nothing. But deeply rooted in history. Your false history that you've lied about, they don't understand, is completely wrong, that one. Her fellow squad member, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, meanwhile warns that gay marriage will be next. As we've warned, SCOTUS isn't just coming for abortion. They're coming for the right to privacy Roe rests on, which includes gay marriage plus civil rights. Manchin is blocking Congress, codifying Roe. House has seemingly forgotten about Clarence Thomas. These 2 points must change. Oh, it sounds like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is coming a lot. Be pretty interested in that. Still waiting on the Tommy Lorraine collab. Just saying. Gotta give the people what they want. It's obviously not laws. Those are optional. Dobbs. Well, it says this Dobbs decision leak an unprecedented breach of Supreme Court's norms. Yeah. Okay. So Dobbs is probably this one then. Yeah. For the first time in modern history, a draft decision. Yeah, it's the draft that has not been leaked. Yeah. So that's correct. So that's about all of the responses that I got from here. I just want to finish up again talking about, again, the consolidation of law and behavior. Anything else on the... I was going to respond to some of the Reddit comments as well, but it's all pretty much similar points again. So, but the consolidation of law and behavior. Basically, again, we have an extremely immature development of our species. People pick sides, they form groups, they don't know how to fucking behave. But over the long run, it's going to consolidate, right? The behavior, right? If you have somebody that's underdeveloped and they go kill somebody, the rest of the species is going to say, yeah, if you killed me, I'm going to side with the person you killed and say that was the wrong thing to do. And that's a very obvious one. Abortion is, again, not a little more convoluted, but not really. If you're not 14 Trumper waving a flag real fucking fast and blurting out Republican talking points, but every bit of human behavior will consolidate to the law, or the law will consolidate to human behavior. And so, like, consider the death penalty versus maiming as a punishment versus abortion versus cannabis. Right? The death penalty, I would say a lot of people are against it. I am certainly not. Depends on the severity of the crime, depends on the violation of consent, and it depends on what the victim wants the punishment to be. But maiming as a punishment, right? A lot of people would say, you know, like, is there anywhere in the world we can still, like, I don't know, maybe like Saudi Arabia, where you like cut off people's hands? Like the vast majority of human law and developed litigation structures, they don't allow for like maiming as punishment, right? You have a serial killer who's a mass shooter, which is a dime a dozen here in the United States. They don't go start cutting off their fingers in court. So we can direct proof of consolidation of law to behavior, right? Even if someone does something bad, we want to punish him, but we don't want to respond with brutality. Which again, I'm a man of equality. It is what it is. But my point is that's an example. Whereas in cannabis, right, the law has not conformed to the vast majority of opinion. And the people that are against it are scientifically illiterate and spouting off political talking points. So there's the stagnation, and there's the slowdown of law consolidating to human behavior. Do people consume cannabis? Yes. Is it biologically healthy? Yes. Does the law reflect that? No. Are the law enforcement officers doing anything about it? With proof? No. Are elected officials competent enough to pass anything? No. Shout out Schumer. 2021, by 2022, 420, from the Senate leader. Yep, good job, man. Thank you. Again, I just don't give a fuck. I get fuck America, man. Lying about human history gets you sued instantly. Instantly. Fucking instantly. You can't afford it. Me making these videos is me documenting emotional damages. You better be able to pay full price. Full fucking price. But abortion, right now, obviously that's the talking point for today. But again, every bit of law, every bit of discrepancy within law will consolidate to human behavior once the sentiment of the species matures. And it hasn't, and it can't, and it won't, and it's ruined my life, and my fucking life is disgusting. I will never have a family. I haven't had a social interaction in 5 years. I've never had a day-to-day life in 10 to 11 years. I have never had constitutional rights. I've been neglected and abused my entire life. So I've seen this before, during, and after from every facet of this fucking society. All of it. I don't care. Let them kill each other, blow up the world, nuke everyone. Who gives a flying fuck? As soon as I'm paid, if ever, I do not expect to see the day that my life is allowed to begin. I'm out of this country and science stops. Because fuck you, die off. Thank you for watching Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 118. Laws are optional, because they are. See you next time.